Welcome to the upstreamlive.com, and I'm your podcast host, Vishal Krishna. Today we're going to be talking to Jyotsna Reddy and Dhriti Reddy, founders of Kasu Homes. People who would want to explore that place for partying. I'm talking about Goa. They have built a couple of projects there. They've been massively successful. They've built these uber premium homes, and now they have horizons of expanding to Karnataka and building bigger houses and better houses. Okay, they're going to also tell us what it means to build a real estate industry that is grounded in transparency. You can tell with all their products. Check out Kasu Homes and let's welcome Dhruti and Jyotsna. Dhruti, Jyotsna, how are you guys?
Good, thank you.
Should I say how are you girls? It's been a long time, both of you.
Yeah, it has.
Thank you for being on the upstreamlife.com.
Most welcome.
Right? You have to tell me this.
Yeah.
How do two siblings, especially girls, get into the real estate industry? Very difficult industry.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, but I would imagine anything is hard these days.
Absolutely.
And it's just something that we found that we have some sort of experience in and some sort of,
background. Yeah.
You guys have talked about that background. How did it all begin?
Yeah.
How old were both of you when you decided to say that we're going to get into the real estate industry? And both of you are architects, right?
I'm an
You're an architect. And what do you do?
So I studied business.
Business.
Yeah.
So how did you combine it?
So basically, we were in our 20s then. We're not in our 20s anymore.
Yeah, we're not going to reveal your age. Don't worry. Go on.
But yeah, I mean, we were looking for something that would drive us with passion. We were really looking for that. And then we thought, okay, Jyotsna is good at this business part of it. She's very organized, very meticulous. She's great at all that. I'm very passionate about design. I'm very passionate about the whole, architecture. And I found that there is value that we can add together. So I thought, okay, this is a great opportunity for us. And that's how Goa gave us this opportunity, this perfect sort of space where we could create whatever we wanted. And, that's how we could just go crazy with our...
Your ideas, right? I just want a backstory there,
Yeah.
right? How both of you are siblings, right?
Yeah.
When you were younger,
Yeah.
were you very cooperative together? Would one bully the other? Would she bully you?
I don't think so.
Or is that how it began? Or how do you actually decide that, okay, now both of us are going to work together? Was it because of the childhood that both of you did things together? You said she's organized and meticulous in a lot of things.
Yeah.
So, Jyotsna, where did it begin for you?
So I think it's quite natural, Vishal. We didn't choose to, or we did not choose to. It came together naturally because of our dad.
Yeah, we always knew that.
Yeah, this would be the path.
That's amazing. You said your dad, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that you would take you to a lot of business sites at that point of time, or was it a natural upbringing? I know he's a very busy person.
He's
right?
a very busy person, but he's kind of like a very visionary. He's a dreamer.
Yeah.
And he's being around somebody like him who always thinks out of the box. You have to absorb something,
Yeah.
and he's the one who's always thinking about crazy ideas. I'm sure half of them don't work, but half of them do.
And he
So-
likes to talk about it.
Yeah.
He likes to discuss things.
Yeah.
So he always would,
And
come
give
back
us the
in.
respect.
Oh, you would do that when you were kids?
Yeah, and he would ask us for our opinion. Even though we probably...
Give me an incident. That's interesting. He'd ask you opinions on a lot of things
Yeah,
in
a lot
childhood.
of things.
Give us an example if you remember anything off your head.
I mean,
Was it something to do with work, or would he come and say, have you read this, or how would it be? Any childhood memory of him?
I think it started more in our 20s, our early
Okay.
20s, late teens, around
Okay.
then. But basically, if he had an idea about a business or something like that, he would always run it past us and say that, okay, what do you think about this? Do you think this
Interesting.
would work? And obviously, at that point, we would give our own opinions from whatever experience that we had. But the fact that he gave us that, confidence by just giving us that respect, I think gave us a huge...
Okay. Was that a normal childhood? I mean, we're all from business families.
Yeah.
Most of us in India,
Yeah.
we're from trading communities or
Yeah.
farming communities that
Yeah.
trade. How easy was it when your dad obviously was always busy?
Yeah.
Did you guys have mom who backed you up,
Yeah.
who inspired you?
Yes.
A lot of people tell me that you girls are really well read too.
Yeah.
I mean, is it her influence that rubbed off in a lot of ways?
Definitely.
Hmm?
Yeah, I think mum was always around. That was one thing about her. Like most of our mothers, right? They just gave up their whole lives for us, and I think that really grounds you.
Yeah. And I
Um,
think because we had that stability at
Yeah.
home, we could go out and do like
Okay.
anything that we wanted.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Okay, let's come down to Kasu. And you have Kasu Assets, you have Kasu Homes.
Yeah,
Kasu Homes is your baby.
is our brand. Yeah,
Yeah. And that began 4-5 years ago.
yeah, around.
And why did you choose Goa again? Nobody wants to go there. It's a very difficult market to operate.
Yes.
You told me
Yeah,
earlier.
yeah,
You want to tell us how that came about?
yeah.
Yeah.
Go on,
I mean,
Jyotsna.
so it's quite the opposite of what you said.
Uh-huh.
Actually, nobody wants to go there as a business, but everyone wants to go there to
That party.
own a home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
they want to own homes there.
Yes, absolutely.
So yeah, that's true actually.
Yeah.
Did people buy homes way back in 2015, 16 there?
Not as much as today,
Mhm.
but yeah, it was a budding market.
So Jyotsna, I want to talk to you about Goa, right? How did the Goa thing happen? Kasu Assets is the parent company. Kasu Homes was the baby that you set up in Goa.
Yeah.
Why choose Goa? I thought people never wanted to go there to buy homes, but they wanted to party there, right? But you said it's quite the contrary. They want to own homes.
Right. It's quite the contrary in terms of everyone. I mean, everyone that we speak to now is Goa is hot,
Yes,
right? So it's everyone wants to own a home there.
correct.
Especially after COVID.
Yeah.
Is that true? We'll get into that bit. That's an interesting
Yeah.
point. Okay, go on. Why did it start then?
So I think we saw that opportunity
Hmm.
there in Goa, particularly away from all the cities. Everyone converge there with their friends, with their families, because it's that touristy destination. It gave us that.
Yeah,
that particular
Did you do market
opportunity.
research for
Yes,
that?
we did.
How easy was it? Did you get one of the
It
top
was quite
5?
hard,
Did you do your own
actually.
market research?
We did our own to whatever extent we could, but we also did get a professional market research company to do something for us. Although I feel like at that point it was a very difficult market because you had to literally go from site to site because it was not an evolved market like Bangalore is. Bangalore at that point itself was quite evolved in terms of real estate. Your online was everything was available online. So if you wanted to do a project, let's say in Devanali or whatever, you already had your comparisons of 20 projects, and it was easy that way. But Goa wasn't.
Yeah, there was no marker. to
Yeah,
speak.
exactly. So everything. So for us, everything was new. Price.
I think we should talk about that a little.
Costing.
Your pricing, costing.
Yeah.
It's very different from Bangalore,
Yeah.
and Goa is different simply because people don't want you to go there also, right? That's what I've heard. I heard the locals don't want you to set up things. And also tell us a little about Kasu Homes, right? It had a
Yeah.
different theme compared to all the other builders out there.
Yeah.
I'd like
yeah.
to hear that, please.
Yeah, you were asking about Goans, right? Goans are very educated people, much more educated than we're used to, definitely in Karnataka. And their systems are completely different. So they find that they're very different from the rest of India, which they are. That's why we all go there.
Absolutely. They have a huge legacy.
Yeah, and they
yeah.
want to protect it. Anyone would want to. So we go in there trying to say that look, we are coming here to build value, but also to protect what's beautiful about Goa. So we try not to cut as many trees as we can. We try to add value to the neighborhood. We try to work with locals as much as possible. We do all of that to kind of build
Yeah.
the community rather than come as outsiders and be overbearing. We want to go along with the
It
community.
has to be
rather than-
inclusive.
Yes, absolutely.
I've been to your properties and I thought
Yeah.
it was, I mean, you didn't, when you drive past that road,
Yeah.
the property that has a slope
Yes.
and what about 8 homes or something, right? It's beautifully
Yeah.
built.
Yeah.
It has a lot of green,
Yes.
right?
Absolutely.
And
It's
it
beautiful.
doesn't feel like you're in part of a villa which has villaments which are bare and
Yeah.
which are empty. You know what I mean? They're houses
Yes.
after
Yeah.
houses.
Yeah.
Right? You didn't do that.
No.
That's great. So you were inclusive.
Yeah.
Did you have to tell these Goan people that this is how we're going to be?
Yeah, in many different ways. We try our very best. Sometimes it's successful, sometimes it's not. But we try to work as much as possible with the locals.
There's an interesting thing you told me a few years ago that in Goa everything's written in Portuguese also, all the
Yeah.
bills
All
and
the
the laws.
documents, yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, of course.
Still.
Still.
Even today.
So that means you will hire somebody there, they need to
Yes.
know the Portuguese language.
Yes, absolutely.
How does that work? How do you get that sorted?
No, a lot of the lawyers, the old lawyers, especially the older generation, can read Portuguese. They had to for their craft, their business, their whatever, they had to read Portuguese. So I think today's lawyers, I think quite a few of them still can, but the older generation are fluent.
Okay.
They have to be, obviously.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So you need a special skill set there. Is it lawyers who handle that for you?
Yes. It's
Or
lawyers.
it's not the business consultants, right?
No, it's the lawyers.
And I'm sure there's no business consultant who know Portuguese in that. So
No.
absolutely.
No.
So okay, so you went there.
Yeah.
You had to identify properties
Yeah.
or properties where you can build.
Yes.
Did you meet the families personally, the both of you? Jyotsna?
Yeah, a lot of them we still do have
Okay.
personal connects with them. A lot of them are our friends and families. That's how we started off.
Yeah.
Kind of.
We still work with them.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
How did you get the references? Are they references? Did you go advertise there, or is
No.
it firstly it was connections that work?
Yeah, I mean, one thing leads to another thing. You don't realize, you might just tell a friend something and the friend might come up with something. So one thing leads to another. It's never been a very systematic thing because you can't be systematic in. Now it's become actually much more.
So did both of you pack your bags from Bangalore, go there?
On
Did
many
you go?
occasions.
Tell me the truth. Did you go there for the sun, or did you? How did you manage a business? You go there, you find an atmosphere of relaxation. People are, partying. People are relaxed in the sense of they don't want to take things seriously. How did you manage the business there? Don't you get distracted?
I think there's two sides to Goa. I think if you're focused on what you went there to do, you'd finish that.
Yeah.
And I think you'd have a balance of both. Yeah.
So who was meticulous there? You or she?
Definitely her.
Okay.
More.
So talk about these things. How did you manage this? How did you manage? Okay, you identified your friends who had property there, or friends or known associates, right? And did you have to go to the government and convince them that this is how the project's going to be? Because you use the word inclusive.
No, that part is pretty straightforward.
Okay.
In Goa, the rules are, beautifully drafted actually. So well drafted that anybody can understand. We can just read the rules and it's very clear. Okay, this much setback, this much. It's very simple, black and white, very little gray area. So it becomes very easy for people like us to follow the rules, put the plan and the thing to the government to sanction. And if they have any problem with it, they'll come back to us and say that, look, this is not okay, it's not okay. And we sort of compromise.
And let's talk about the consumer base that you chose there. I heard a lot of artists, they want to be part of that, the properties that you're selling or making, right? Did you have a theme from the beginning, or how did you capture the essence of the narrative? That, okay, in Goa, we're going to build something, everybody comes to beach houses or closer to the beach kind of thing, but you had to choose a clientele.
Yeah.
How did you choose the theme of, say, artists, actors?
Yeah.
It could also be entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So how did you choose that theme?
I think more than us choosing it, it's them choosing us. Or maybe it's the other way around. It's hard to say, but
it worked out that way. So it's not planned that way at all. You built great properties, escape properties.
Not really, but we wanted to do something different. We wanted to do something unique, and we always do. Not now, not before, but always. That's what excites us. That's what keeps us going.
Yeah, keeps you going.
So we did something cool, something different, something out of the box, and I think people, like you just spoke about, entrepreneurs who are also looking for something different, were attracted to.
Yeah, in fact, those listening to the podcast would find it interesting to know that about 30% of the startup ecosystem has actually gone to Goa during the COVID.
Yes.
It's a very interesting time. So you guys were very early in this game of choosing Goa. It wasn't by design, but you thought it's a great market to operate in.
Yes.
You got in. Were there any difficulties at all? I mean, now I'm getting down to the nitty-gritties of the business for you both. New market. I mean, so your hometown's Bangalore.
Yeah.
Goa is like a different country almost.
Yeah.
Right? And you said the rules, laws were different. You go in there.
Yeah.
How did you manage? I want to talk about how did you manage the labor? Did you outsource everything? How do you make sure that I'm talking about cost? Like as a startup yourself, as Kasu Homes as a startup.
Yeah.
Money is limited. You have to build in a time frame and sell. Right?
Yeah.
Imagine if you're caught in the COVID time and your projects are half complete, you're still paying off bankers or debtors or whoever, right?
Yeah.
How did you manage that time frame? Did you both sit down and say, okay, this is the plan, we're going to execute it, and did you achieve it?
Well, yes and no.
Mhm.
One is that we did have a plan. We had a very detailed cost plan, but we overshot it by
What happened?
many numbers. I think.
The numbers you mean?
Yeah.
The finances.
Yeah.
Big time.
Okay.
But the thing was, we're not at all. We appreciate. I mean, we're happy that we overshot it actually, because we gave a product which was out of the box, out of the world, rather. It was something different that nobody else was giving. And we are fine with the lower profits. We're fine with all of that because at the end of the day, we were able to make a mark.
Okay.
And we like that model of always giving a superior product. So even today, we're all about the product.
Well, let's talk about the product. It's what, 5,000 square feet homes or larger?
The first project was.
Yeah. Let's talk about project per project.
Yeah.
First, what is 5,000 square feet?
Yes.
Kasuvana.
It's one. It's called Kasu One. It's called, right?
Kasuvana.
Kasuvana.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, we'll get into the names and the
Yeah.
meanings in a bit. Who chose that name, Kasuvana, by the way? Did you
I
get
think it was
again?
everything. What do you say?
It just
Design
came up.
and creative is
Dhruti.
Yeah.
Okay, Dhruti, it's a 5,000 square feet
Yeah.
home. You talked about material being superior. You want
Yeah.
to talk about the superior materials?
Yeah.
What is a superior material in a 5,000 square feet home?
Yeah.
And you're saying that is it affordable luxury? It's premium luxury. It's super uber luxury.
Yeah.
What is it?
I think it's definitely super uber.
Okay.
You know, especially the way that we've done it as if we've built our own home.
Okay. Interesting.
You know, so we haven't cut any corners. Absolutely zero corners have been cut. And at any point, if the architects or the team called me and said that, look, here's a cheaper option, here's an expensive option, we always chose the expensive option. And we're so happy that we did that at every 500 decisions that we had to make the project.
Was that a
Project.
conscious call that you guys took? Super uber.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah, we did.
So you're probably just now revealing something that the
Yeah.
customer should be discerning.
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
And discerning would mean the buyer himself would understand these
Yeah,
materials,
Absolutely.
right?
They do.
It would hold no value if he doesn't.
And they do.
He or she doesn't. Yeah.
And they really do. You know, the number of site visits we've done, and people are very clued in these days. They know everything. They know exactly what wall finishes, what external wall finishes. They know what goes into the kitchen. They know brands of kitchens. They know everything. So that's good for us because we are able to communicate. Hey, look, this is our product, and they were able to understand it and appreciate it.
How do you manage this? I want to ask both of you. You know, I've been to luxury homes in Delhi. I won't
Yeah.
name the builders.
Yeah.
You know, in the summer, the wood expands, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's funny. My friend had paid about $2 million
Yeah.
for this house in Delhi.
Yeah.
It was a villamint,
Yeah.
and his front door wouldn't close because
Right.
the wood had expanded.
Right.
A very weird situation to be in.
So you know what? These things happen.
Why does this happen? I like the
So-
fact that you're talking material,
Yeah.
discerning customer,
Yeah.
and I want our podcast listeners
Yeah.
to know
Yeah.
that you pay for the discerning
Yeah.
material, and this is uber quality for
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that?
Yes. Absolutely. So what we always tell our customers is, it takes about 4 to 6 months of settling in for a home, because you have thousands of products coming together and working together, synergistically. It could be a tap, it could be a geyser, it could be a pipe, it could be anything, and everything has its own settling time. So what we always tell our people is that, look, don't get scared, we are here. So if a geyser doesn't work, if a tap doesn't work, if your water is whatever, don't worry, we are here because we are there to make sure. So I think especially our team has done a fantastic job with after sales service.
Okay. Material choosing would be done by both of you together.
Yes.
Okay, and you'd go with the team, pick up, for example, everything from the bricks
Yes.
to the carpets.
Yes.
What else? I mean, the taps, like you mentioned,
Everything.
the kitchen equipment.
Everything.
You've chosen it by yourself.
Flooring.
So it's like a
flooring.
Dhruti and Jyotsna signature.
Yes, I mean, obviously our architects are the main brains behind the thing, but there's a huge team that comes into it. But yes, we do make sure that we approve everything.
How do you do this? Now, okay, construction begins.
Yeah,
You've outsourced the construction mostly. It's not your construction company, is it?
it's kind of our own. It's our family. In
Mm.
fact, it's my husband's family.
Okay.
So they are big contractors in Bangalore.
Mhm.
So they do a lot of the contracts for the churches.
Okay, got
church, the Catholic church
Yes.
properties. St. Joseph's, St. John's, all of that. So we thought
They were able to get the labor there and get it done.
So they do the entire construction. So that was another huge advantage for us because we were able to give a superior quality right from the foundation level.
Yeah, not many people don't realize the supply chain in real estate is very difficult to manage, right?
Yeah.
You want to talk about it, Jyotsna, when you're on the business side, so what would get delayed? Then would you go back to her and say, your team's not provided me this, you got to execute this on time? Because you talked about cost overruns, right?
Yes.
So where would people in real estate burn more money, especially with super Uber products, right? Is it in the material itself or is it in the construction where the money gets burnt?
I think I'll let you
I
answer
think
that.
that's something that I can answer. Labor is something that actually turns out to be quite expensive, especially in good finishing.
Because they don't show up?
Not because they don't show up, because it takes time.
Okay.
It might be the same material. The material might cost whatever 100 rupees or 200 rupees. But the amount of time it takes to cut that stone into a certain size and put it, it's not just plastering it like tiles. You know, what happens today is that we use a lot of natural materials.
Right.
We use pretty much only natural materials, including the tiles for the swimming pool. We use natural stone.
You want to explain what natural stone is?
So
most of us in cities so used to plastic stuff. We don't know what natural stuff is.
I mean, the thing with vitrified tiles and those kind of products, very easy to lay. It's very light, first of all, compared to stone.
Yeah.
And your edges are generally 90 degrees.
And easy to move around.
You don't have to cut it. You literally have to just...
It's a cookie cutter.
Cookie cutter. You just come and put it. So your labor is much cheaper. Time taken is much cheaper. So when we go for natural materials, even though the material cost might be sometimes lower than a tile, the cost to actually install becomes much higher because sometimes even the designs we choose are unique.
Okay, this is very interesting to me. So when people choose a house, especially a super Uber home, say an entrepreneur made money in it, first thing they get from a Kasu home is you have to be discerning yourself to understand it. Or does everybody need a tour guide?
Not really, not nowadays, Vishal. I think everyone gets it. Gets the market that we're operating in, which is Goa, gets why we chose what we chose. So in that regard, I don't think they have a lot of questions. I mean, we still do a little bit of, we guide them or we give them the knowledge. But I think they come prepared.
Oh, so that means they've already done the market research. They come back.
A lot of that.
And the typical sell for this is immediate, or most of them look at loans, right? Most of the ordinary people look at loans, but these entrepreneurs or these artists who are well known, they come and say that, look, I love the product that you've offered. When can I sign? Or would you say I'm going to curate the list and come back? How do you manage that?
So it's a long process. Because what happens is nobody is living in Goa, so they can't come today or tomorrow for the site visit.
That's true.
So we start off the process from Delhi or Bombay or Bangalore or Hyderabad or Chennai, whatever it may be. And that conversation goes on until they can plan their site visit.
Along with a holiday.
Okay.
Yeah, they usually do that.
So they book the house or they just come for a holiday and then say, I want a site visit. Just like what I did.
Absolutely.
I was there and I said, I want to go see property. Okay, fine.
So that's how they do it. And then we're there to take them to a site visit. Of course, we have a team. In the beginning, a lot of the site visits we did. But now we have an excellent team. Very well trained. And
I want to talk about team building, right? For a project like this. Choosing the right people again is important. Was that a difficult process for the both of you? Because at what stage when you started, both of you? I mean, would you decide that we need somebody to do this for us? We can't be doing this every day. Were you in that situation?
Yeah, so I think that was our biggest challenge, right? In our Goa office. Our Bangalore office is pretty established. We have a lean team here. But in Goa is where we needed everything to be done. And it took some time. It took some bit of settling into the environment, the work environment there. So I think I would say it took about 6-8 months in the beginning to figure this out and have everyone in the right position. Maybe one person didn't work in the position that they were in. We shuffled that around.
Took quite a bit of that.
Yeah. Maybe a year even, The first whole year we spent
Because
getting that in place.
we were very keen on the culture established in the company as well. So sometimes it doesn't work out.
Yeah, absolutely.
But now we have a great team.
So is it very essential, would you say, that people have to create these processes from day one?
Yes.
Or would you say that, would you have done that earlier in hindsight? Or would you say that, okay.
We had that idea from day one.
But you guys did a lot of roles yourself in the beginning.
Yes, we had to.
Okay. Well, is that important too? Is that important to do something on your own before you
I
outsource
absolutely
it?
think so. I personally think so.
Okay, what about you, Jyotsa? What do you think? You think so too?
Yeah.
Did you guys have disagreements? The reason I ask is not on a negative connotation,
Yeah.
but to understand that, okay, again, she runs the business, you run the design and everything else, right?
Yeah.
So what are some of the things that you learned from each other? Jyotsa, I want to start with you because I would want to know, did something happen between where you said that Aditi, you're not completing the project on time or something like that?
No, not disagreements, Vishal. I think in terms of the relationship, in terms of the working relationship, it's been kind of seamless because I mean she has her
operating capabilities,
right, and expertise in her field, and I'd like to say I have mine. So
you do have yours.
Yeah, so it's a bit of like a mutual understanding, a mutual respect. You give due respect there.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you'd bounce off each other's ideas. Would you disagree at all? No. Go on, don't be coy. Don't play coy with me, both of you.
There might be disagreements, but for a mutual end only. So at the end,
the mutual end is to what? Finish the product on time or get great material, and that is important.
I think for us, it's great product.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, it's about a great product.
Okay. Did you do any PR around this at that point of time? You did, because I know you're one of the few people who were very quiet and then did some PR and went quiet again.
Yeah.
Right? Right?
Yeah, that's a battle we still kind of are in.
Why would you say?
I mean, individually, I don't think both of us are the type to be very public.
Okay. Yeah, and we don't want that attention. I mean, that's
I get it. I mean, this podcast is really lucky for us. It's hard to get the time. That's the truth of it. So PR is important for projects like these?
I think for the company, yes.
Okay.
I think to some extent.
Okay.
We like to fly as much below the radar as possible. But we're doing good work, so we naturally do get good feedback as well.
Okay, I want to talk about the business models now. For example, I would have wanted, the PR, if it's an invitation kind of a model, right? In the beginning, like even the OnePlus phones did that. Right? It was only an invitation you got the phone.
Yeah.
Is that something that you would have tried, or is it something that we want to try with future properties? Then we'll come back to the current business model and how it works, right?
We are not, we have something called a family and friends round, which is something that we open only to our family and friends.
Okay.
Especially very unique properties. We keep it, it's just like something we're giving back to our family and friends as an opportunity rather than putting it into the market. That's something that we do, not really an invitation sort of a thing. But I guess you could call it an invitation.
You did that in the beginning?
We did.
For
one of the projects. But
that's the Kasu project you did that for?
No, actually we did that for the Kasu Zira.
The second one?
The third one.
The third one, okay.
Which we're still in the process of.
Okay. Well, does that model work well for India, the invitation model? Or is it still important to do the spray and pray model where you do a lot of PR, do a lot of advertising? A lot of builders do that, by the way, but I don't see you guys advertising anywhere, which is it a conscious call that you took not to advertise?
No, we don't do the big billboards, we don't do the big...
Page 1 ads?
No, we don't do all of that. Our advertising is mainly online. So it's basically literally from us directly to the customer.
Okay. Here is like I said, they pay upfront, or they say most of them take home loans. How do they work?
A percentage do take home loans, even though it's a smaller percentage. But we have a model which actually this is standard practice. But what we do is as we build, the payment is structured.
Okay.
So let's say walls are done. Okay, this is the payment.
Yeah.
So it's a payment. It's a construction linked plan.
Okay. What other business models do you think can work for you guys in the super Uber side? Invitation is one.
Yes.
Pay as we build is one model.
Right.
Then what other models can work? You've thought about this? Because you're going to be launching a lot more. We have to get into the expansion plans still.
Yeah, we are thinking about many different things for each project. I mean, it's not a cookie cutter thing, so we have to think about different things. We're actually getting into a lot of individual homes, massive homes. Some by the river, very unique properties. We have this one property coming up which has a old 150-year-old Goan house, which we're keeping as is, and we're building a part of it into a 5-bedroom beautiful estate.
This is a single house.
A single house.
Okay.
So we have about 4 such properties coming up soon.
Interesting ideas these are. So by the river,
yes,
by the mangrove forest maybe.
Exactly.
Okay, very interesting.
Big properties.
And these will be individual buyers?
Yes, individual families, generally families, people who come there. They want to stay 6 months in a year there, or even 3 months. They come there with their families, with their friends. These are social homes, so we design them like social homes.
Okay, interesting. 3 years ago, you also told me that a lot of these people who buy these homes may not want to stay there throughout the year. Right? That's true, right?
Yes,
is that the new India that you're looking at? People want to own a second home where they could just go relax or something?
Yeah.
Is
they
that
can
true?
go relax and kind of work from home, and that's where I think this whole COVID has changed the ecosystem of working, the work culture. So now more than ever they want to have a more cleaner space, more cleaner air. So they look at places like Goa where they can also work from. Maybe
especially
have some
for Delhi people.
A lot of Delhi people are your clients? They come down? Okay.
Because the air there is not as clean.
Absolutely. So let's not talk about that too. I mean, I remember getting out at the Delhi airport and it said, the air particulate matter today is 700. I mean, the WHO recommends only 40 and this is 700. I said to myself, okay, great. I'm coming to a smog kind of factory. That's true. So they come out to escape, feel fresh, rejuvenate.
Absolutely.
But they don't live through the year.
Not many.
Not
people.
many.
Yeah.
So in that case, what would you suggest? Somebody manages the home. You guys manage the home.
Yeah. So we do a lot of the managing, Vishal. I mean, we built the homes, we've designed the homes. I think we would be experts at kind of telling the owners how to fix something if something went wrong. So we do with Kasu we do a lot of managing. We have models that we present to the client that we manage the home when they're away. We keep the villa ready
clean
for them
and spick and span and basically what I'm saying is I can also choose to rent it out through Kasu, right? For that period.
Absolutely.
Is that okay with
that's
with
a
you
rental
guys?
management.
We do have a rental management. That's something that we do have. But right now, what we have noticed is a lot of the clients want to keep their homes for themselves.
Okay, interesting. So they want to stay there.
Yeah, because these are super luxury. They do it up the way that they want, and they.
Okay, correct me. I mean, they want, even if they're not there, they want to have it for themselves. Nobody goes there.
I mean, just maybe family and friends.
That's true. That is interesting, right? So they're okay. So why would they need to give it out for rent? Unlike the timeshare model that a lot of people want abroad. So but are there a portion of clients who also say, look, I want to churn this property's income also? Do they do that?
Yeah, we do.
Are you okay with such clients?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's a very popular model.
All kinds of people, and we can't have one set of rules for everybody. So we try to be as flexible.
So you said it's a model that you want to look at. It's interesting. Does it make money for you guys? Because you guys are running it on a daily basis, no? No?
You're talking about the rental model?
Yeah, rental model. I mean, how would you list us an Airbnb?
It's more of a service, to be honest.
Okay. And I pay for it, obviously.
I
pay for that service, right? Whether the clients come or not, whether the rentals come or not, I have to pay for it.
I
have to pay for the upkeep.
Yes,
So
that's
interesting.
important thing.
That's interesting. And this is on a. Now I want to get into technology. How important is technology? I know both of you built great homes. Look and feel. But does the current consumer want a connected house? Is that something that you're interested in, or would you say that there's a lot of talk and there's nothing practical in these markets today? I want both your opinions on this.
I think
who's going to take that first?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. So basically, there's one aspect is that these are holiday homes. So when we try to explore the thing of automation within the home.
You did explore.
Yeah, we did. And we thought, oh, okay, wait a minute, these are holiday homes. That means every time the client comes, every few months, they have to realign and relearn the system. Okay, because the systems are not super intuitive yet.
Today. Yes, that's a separate topic
Yeah,
altogether.
exactly. So that's something. That's why we decided not to do it, not to do automation, even though that is the future.
Do you think that's the future?
Yeah.
I mean, we have smartphones all the
Yeah.
time. I mean, I'd want a door to.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that what would be automation for you? For me, it would be switch off lights. The
Yeah.
whole thing goes off.
Yes.
But would it be intelligent enough to figure out that I'm writing something so it throws light there? Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think
it's not intuitive. That's
it's
why.
not intuitive enough. It's not user friendly enough. It's not like an iPhone or the phones these days are so intuitive that even children can use
Yes.
it. The systems today are not yet there.
So real estate's not yet there
I think
in terms of technology.
Yeah, it's just it's.
Would it
definitely not
increase the
there.
price if you connect the entire home? Also, is it?
It would.
It would, right?
But would it? I personally don't see it as a great value add today.
Would it compromise design?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it can even add value to design
Okay.
because you don't have as many plug points on the walls and things.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, because you just have a small little
Yeah,
keypad, or you don't
yeah.
even have to have that. You don't have to. You can just have an iPad and walk around.
Okay, and Jyotsna, in this case, and how savvy are both of you with technology? In a sense, would you like technology to be a major part of running your business? I mean, I'm just the reason I'm asking is everybody keeps saying that I use these kind of tools, I use this and that. Would you say that technology transforms your business in any particular way? Or are you more of people who are, okay, there are systems and processes, there's
Yeah.
some kind of tech, but we're more of gut feel kind of entrepreneurs. We do what makes us happy. I wanted your thoughts there.
Yeah. I feel like personally I'm a bit more old school that way,
Okay.
Vishal, so a bit of both.
Okay.
So we would have all the processes, all the systems in place back end.
Mm-hmm.
But I would still like to, interact with the customer, let's
Brilliant.
say, or get their feedback on how a
Mhm.
certain thing, so we can improve it
Mm.
the next time.
Absolutely.
That
I think
is-
that's
that's a
a
great
good
way of going
point.
forward.
I think that's a good
Yeah.
point. I think systems, technology gives us good systems to integrate to only make it better.
Hmm.
So that's something that we're actually learning.
Yeah, you can't make a home or a device.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not something that I want to live in.
Yeah.
Especially with the device making me
And
want to be.
especially in
yeah.
Goa, everyone wants to escape that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes they do.
that is
Yeah.
true. I don't know, but are you? Do you think our generation is living in a state where technology is overbearing on all of us so much that we don't seem to have control over it?
Yeah.
You're forced to use technology for the sake of doing it, for the sake of the narrative. I want to go to Goa because I want to escape from all
Yeah.
this. You know what I mean? Can
Yeah,
I
yeah.
switch off the phone?
Yeah.
I just use my machine
Yeah.
and switch off the phone,
Yeah.
and I don't want anybody else bothering me. I have a
Yes.
set time schedule
Yeah.
for this.
Yeah.
Most of us struggle with that.
Yeah.
Why is that? I mean, do you girls struggle with that? You girls have busy meetings, right? You're busy
Yeah.
all day. How do you manage? I mean, do you get time to do this? Because you're selling us dreams, beautiful dreams.
Yeah.
Do you girls get to live that yourselves? Go on, it's an easy question.
Definitely.
You do? Get time?
I think both of us, we like to have our family lives and our social lives and our work lives in balance.
Mhm.
And I feel like that's something that we
Yeah.
do well.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just got married. Congratulations,
Thank you,
Jyotsna.
Vishal.
And Jyoti, you got a kid.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I want to know how. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Technology and
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
How do you break the two? I have a difficult time.
Yeah.
How do you manage both of you?
We're learning.
We're all
honestly.
learning, no?
We're learning, and there's so many interesting things going on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely something that's keeping us on our toes.
Okay.
Things like we are exploring putting systems in place for the construction part of
Yeah. Yeah. The technology is there.
yeah,
makes
the
sense.
processes, so that we make sure, like, let's say a switch box has to be installed.
Yeah. Thanks for reading my mind. That I was getting
Yeah.
there. So you're saying
Yeah.
tech for the processes
Yeah.
makes more sense.
We're putting those things in place.
Yeah.
We're yet to assess how useful it is or how efficient it is.
Mhm.
But the idea basically is that there are multiple levels of checks.
Yes.
That
The
different,
audits.
the audits that happen from different levels, from the laborer
Yeah.
to the installer to the head
Yeah, I got it.
electrician possibly, then to the contractor, then the contractor himself. Everybody has a higher up. So everybody checks that up to a certain point, and pictures are uploaded onto the app, so anyone can check.
So that's important. You're saying tech is important for business processes.
Yes.
It should not be all encompassing towards the consumer.
Yes.
Wow. You were saying,
Yeah.
pardon me.
So
go on.
not just the construction side of things, so even the sales, right?
Mhm.
If we have one of our sales rep talking to a client, I think everyone on the team deserves to know where they're at closing the sale. So I think that those processes help internally as well.
So the data-led approach is important.
Yeah.
But in your case, it's so beautiful. I find two of you enjoying what you do.
Yeah.
If you have the back end fixed in
Yeah.
terms of the costs,
Yeah.
I think everything else is just about yourselves. You're both of you expressing your inner feelings and thoughts on each home, right?
Yes.
Am I right in saying that?
I mean, we love what we do.
Okay.
So we put our everything into these homes.
Okay. Okay. So consumer data important for you going forward as you
Yes,
expand?
very, very important.
Where are you expanding to?
So we are thinking about expanding in Bangalore.
Mhm.
We see a very good market in Bangalore. So that's something we're working on. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, and no reveals at this point of time, but it's
Yeah.
probably people like me who want to escape the city.
Yeah.
Huh? Is that
Something like that.
better homes than Goa, or you can never beat Goa? But
We
I'm saying-
always want to do better and better. So
Okay.
hopefully better.
What's better now? What's when you say better and better? What is it in terms of delivery timeline, or in terms of
It could
the
be.
quality makes it more expensive?
We're working on delivery timelines, better delivery timelines. We're working on better products.
Okay.
We're working on, so we've taken a lot of feedback from the market,
Mhm.
from our clients, who've told us that, okay, this part of the home works great. The common thing that we find is that our gardens are not big enough. They want big gardens.
Okay.
However big the gardens are, we want bigger gardens.
People say
that's
that?
the feedback that we get.
Let's go buy a farm.
No, but we take that feedback. It's
Okay.
positive feedback.
Okay.
So for the next few homes that we're doing, we're always catering it that way.
Okay.
So and in such a way that maybe the inside also can open into the outside. So while you're sitting inside, you feel like you're the wind, you have the cross ventilation, all of that, but you're well and safe in a roof.
Okay. There's lots of these models where people say that it's a joint model where a bunch of 100 people come together. It's a pooled model.
Yeah.
But then when this property development company that says that, okay, we'll manage farms for you.
Yeah.
The produce from the farms will be will be sold in the market.
Yeah.
It's not as the entrepreneurs who come in there care
Yeah.
about that, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying that's a model that's emerging too.
Yeah.
Is that interesting enough as a model for you? I mean, connecting a farmhouse and then link
I
that
think
produce to the market. I thought it's a bit too complicated for me.
That's out of our expertise, to be honest.
So we build well and not do farming.
We don't know anything about farming.
Absolutely, great point. So it's interesting, right? Real estate itself is evolving.
Yeah.
Last 11 years has been bad for real estate, especially the home owning side. I'm so glad that you girls have done well, right? But what's been the problem with real estate according to you? The timelines are the problem, and the quality. Are these the two biggest things?
Yes.
Or is there some expectation from governments that you have? I want you to be a bit candid there on how this industry, because it employs a lot of people,
Yeah.
right? How can this industry come back? Do you see it coming back? And a lot of people tell me that after COVID, people want to buy homes at every level.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So what do you think? What do you think should be done to bring this industry back?
I think timelines is something that we all
Have stick to.
have issues with, honestly.
Okay.
And I'm sure you've heard about it.
Yeah, thousands of stories.
Yeah, and the other thing is, I find, at least in the industry, is quality is always put at the back.
Compromised.
It's compromised.
Yeah, like I said, the door for the $2 million house. My
exactly.
God. Yeah.
So that's something I feel like the industry has to catch up. And I
Okay.
think it will. I think it's getting there.
I think a bunch of young people are changing things
Yeah.
like you. I mean, Siddharth
Yeah.
from RMZ, we all know, right? And then there's Karan and his brother Aditya.
Yeah.
So all trying different things,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
So you're saying basically transparency, delivery is important,
Yes.
right? Any ask from the government as such, something should be done from the policy side. No, it's not going to hurt anybody to say what you want. So
See,
labor laws have changed.
Yeah.
Taxation.
See, taxes are what they are.
Yes.
Now we don't have any, as an industry, we don't have any input credit anymore
Yes.
in the GST. So that is one thing that we have to factor in as cost,
Okay.
which sometimes clients don't understand.
Yeah, and they think you're marking it up.
Yeah, so they
Yeah.
feel that they're paying a GST and that actually comes free to us. It's not the case. Actually, it's a cost to us because we've already paid the GST and we don't have a
Yeah, input credit for that.
exactly.
Wow.
So that is something that a lot of industries enjoy, but we don't.
Particular reason why? Because of the material sourced, imported. Is that the reason?
I think the government did this because they lowered it. It was at 12%. They lowered it to a 5%. At 12%, we had a input credit. They lowered it to a 5%, which essentially is the same thing.
It adds back again.
Yeah, it adds the same thing because we pay our credit and then our
Yeah.
clients pay the GST. So essentially, the government is collecting the same amount.
Okay.
But from the client's point of view, that 12 has come down to 5.
Okay. Is that a
So,
good thing?
It's a good thing only from that point of view that it just creates more. Clients immediately think, oh, I'm getting a 7% discount.
Okay.
Okay, that's not the case.
You're very fair. That's a transparent answer. I hope
Yeah.
consumers are listening in,
Yeah.
and that's why people should come to founders such as yourself
Yeah.
too. And it's interesting. That's one from the government.
Yeah.
Any ask from the business side? And do you think one question I want to ask is a lot of startups must be coming and trying to sell technology to you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They do, right?
Yeah.
And when they do, what should their pitch be?
Yeah.
A lot of people must be saying so many things. You
Yeah.
don't know which one to pinpoint on.
Yeah.
What solutions are you looking out for the business side or the design side?
We are right now looking at systems,
Okay.
back-end systems.
Mhm.
You know, one thing that we definitely are hoping works well for us is this construction technology. We're keeping our fingers crossed. Even if that doesn't work, we'll be looking for something to replace that.
Okay.
Like Jyotsna said, the sales part is very important.
Okay. You're looking for somebody who can do data-led sales for you?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
precisely.
Okay.
So right now, because our projects were technically smaller, we're at that stage where we need to really make everything very systematic.
Mhm. You've done 3 at this point of time, or 5. Am I correct?
We are launching our third project.
Okay.
And we have 4 more, third plus 4 more
Mhm.
in the pipeline.
3 plus 4. That's a lot.
Plus, sorry, 5.
5. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. You lost count. That's
Yeah.
okay. but what I want to know is you're okay to work with startups, Jyotsna, right? But when they come to you, they have to have a value proposition.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay, that's fine. And if startups are there, write to me. I'll try to connect. I'll curate and send the list to Dhruti and Jyotsna. Now, a few personal questions. Right? You're a fitness freak, Jyotsna. Right?
Sure, yeah.
And you're a rallyist? I mean, are you a biker or something? I don't know.
No, the
what
last
do you
time
do?
we spoke, I think just before that, I did some
Uh-huh.
Cycling tour.
cycling. I did that biking, mud.
Okay,
Oh,
dirt
yeah.
bike.
Oh,
Dirt
yeah.
bike, yeah.
Okay,
dirt
that's
bike.
just a hobby thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I mean, I
you're-
like to try new things.
Okay.
So that's what I try.
But they also
try.
tell me you're a kickboxer. Is that true?
Yeah.
Wow, is it professional kickboxer?
Not professional, Vishal, no. But
No, that'd be pretty nice. I mean, you work and get to do that.
I mean, I just train in kickboxing and not get hit.
But
I
you
think
pack a
that's-
punch, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
She's
Huh?
really strong.
She does. That's good. Then I won't mess with you. I want to know a couple of things. What about fitness has changed your life? Is it something that you were into from childhood, or because you're an introvert in many ways?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
What does fitness mean to you spiritually, and what other things do you do other than fitness? Do you get to read? You get to go meet friends, or are you basically sitting at home and just
Yeah,
meditating?
yeah.
You seem like that kind of person.
I am totally that kind of
You are?
person, yeah. So, I
Okay.
mean, I think fitness, the thing about sport or any fitness is that it teaches you some discipline, right? So, you sleep early, you wake up early, you have a ambition, you have a goal, you get to it, and then you feel accomplished.
What time do you wake up?
Depends. On a good or bad day would be like 5 a.m.
5 a.m.
Yeah.
I think.
But I sleep at 9, so
Well, I don't know what
the
5 a.m.
trade-off.
looks like.
I know, me
Really,
neither.
so
Yeah.
it has been 30 years since I
Yeah.
realized what 5 a.m. looks like. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's interesting. So you get up 5 a.m.
Yeah.
and your day is like meditation, yoga.
Yeah, has a bit of yoga, has a bit of golf that I've been
Okay.
playing lately. And,
What's your handicap?
Don't make me put that
But
on.
she won a tournament.
She did. Then,
Yeah,
then she
yeah.
must be super good.
But that's because of my high handicap. So.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a high handicap. I started 3 years ago.
But you must have got a good swing, right? So
Yeah.
it's great. Which one? KGA or
In KGA,
KGA?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So okay, after golf, it's pretty much packed. It's like
It
5
is
a.m. wake
packed,
up,
yeah,
yoga,
it's
then
packed.
golf.
It's packed. Yoga is very recent.
Okay.
Golf has been 3 years. My Muay Thai has been a few more years than that, so about 5
Okay, that's
years.
the kickboxing part
Yeah,
of it.
yeah. So
Okay.
I've been to Thailand. I've been to
You've
many
trained.
institutes there and trained under like really cool people.
My
in
stomach's
this
really
place.
grumbling now, getting all those punches on the stomach, and I mean, seriously, do they train like that?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but
Is
you're all
it-
geared up, so you're protected.
But you must have gone for tournaments in this.
No, not
yet?
in
Not yet.
kickboxing. No.
But that's high level. So you do Muay Thai,
Yeah,
and then back to work at around what 10:30, 11?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
typical day is till about 10, or you
I
sleep.
have
You're
an
early sleeper.
Early, very early sleeper, Vishal. If I'm up for more than like up later than 9, I get shaky.
Wow,
9 p.m. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Out.
She's a
Wherever
rare
she
kind.
goes.
That's
Yeah.
9 o'clock. It's like almost like the old days in the village where
Yeah.
the lights would go off at 6.
Yeah.
You had nothing to do. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
might as well go back
and
to
I'm
bed.
newly married. My husband's
Uh-huh.
always complaining because there's no other time.
Yeah, but how do you
But
discipline him? Tell me about that.
You just gotta do what you gotta do.
So he's following you?
Yeah.
I think that's the best lifestyle, though,
Yeah,
Dhruti.
yeah.
I'm going to come to you in a bit.
Yeah.
So, okay, what does spirituality mean to you? What is your 30-second guide to happiness?
So happiness, Vishal, I think would be if you're confident or content with who you are, and not let anyone play with your mind.
Yeah.
I think that you will be happy if that's the kind of person you are. And if you have like a good support system who doesn't judge you when you do
Yeah.
fail or on your off days, and they let you be who you are, I think that's what's worked for me, and I think I'm pretty happy that way.
So that's interesting. Be content, confident.
Yeah.
Don't let others judge you.
Yeah,
You know,
don't
the
let
don't
others
take it
think-
seriously.
yeah.
That's very nice. That you said it in 25 seconds. That's fantastic. Right? Now, how do you handle a sister? That's super cool, no? She's almost like Supergirl here.
I know. Oh my God, how do I follow
My
that?
stomach's going. I'm going to trouble myself. You're not going to give me sleep today. I'm going to get up at 5 o'clock by not sleeping. That's what's going to happen.
No, but ask me if I read, and I would say no. But
No,
she
yeah.
reads all the books that there
That's
are.
okay. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, this is something that I definitely want to call you and say I'm going to come golfing, or I'm
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
come,
you should.
but don't call me for your Muay Thai. I can't handle. I've got hip impingement, whatever problems. Right? Dhruti, coming to you. You have a sister that's super cool.
Yeah.
Was she always like this?
Yeah, she's always cool.
Hmm?
She's always super cool.
Bit more sensitive, would you say?
She's very sensitive.
Well said. You should be, so she's the caring one for you.
Yeah.
You'd go,
always.
yeah, she would come and pour out
Yeah.
with you, right? Tell you
Yeah,
everything.
Yeah.
What's the role of elder sister like, or elder person in the
I
family
think,
like?
I think I've always been very protective.
Hmm?
Definitely very protective of
Mhm.
her. I've been always.
Was she the bully who would go punch up all the boys in school? Did you do
Not
that?
quite, not
No,
quite.
I think we're close enough in age to,
Yeah.
be up to all the mischief together, to be
Okay,
honest.
okay.
So we were
Yeah.
that way. But I was always very protective of her.
Okay.
Even I still am.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
only see that.
Yeah.
And tell me about yourself a little bit, right? You're married, of course. John's
Yeah.
your husband,
Yeah.
and family is important to you. But you
Very.
wake up at 5.
No, I can't. I really can't. Even with the daughter, I wake up at
What's your typical day like?
I wake up at around 8 o'clock,
Okay.
7:30 if by
Okay.
chance.
Okay.
Spend some time with my daughter.
Uh-huh.
Then drop her off to my mom's place.
Yeah, and get to work
Get to work.
immediately.
So I'm at work and I tend to work till about 2:30,
Okay, afternoon.
2:33.
Yeah.
And then trying to spend a lot of time with my daughter because she's still
Yeah, she's what, 3
young.
now or something
She's
like that?
2.
Yeah.
She's 2
Yeah.
years and she's growing up so quick.
What does it mean to be a mother and a businesswoman? How tough is that?
I think initially I did find it a little hard to balance it. I found it quite hard actually.
Yeah.
But now I found my balance.
Space.
I found
Talk about that space.
Yeah.
I myself am a parent now,
Yeah,
you know about
yeah,
that,
yeah.
right? And my wife being a doctor.
Yeah.
To get to that space, is
Yeah.
that a discipline there that you approached it at?
Yeah, I think discipline, but even to have that discipline, you need a support system, which luckily I have.
Yeah. Yeah.
So because I have that in my mother, who's pretty much a parent to her more than a grandparent, I am able to go out and do what makes me happy,
Okay.
which is
Okay.
my work and everything.
That's interesting. We owe a lot to our parents, and in this
Yeah.
entire conversation,
Yeah.
we keep bringing our parents back. I'll get
Yeah.
to that in a moment.
Yeah.
You read a lot of books, she said.
Yeah.
Was she the extrovert who read a lot? It's interesting. Introverts read a lot, but you seem to be somebody who's
I'm somewhere in the middle. I don't know.
Yeah,
if I'm
but
an extrovert or
what do you read?
I read non-fiction mainly.
Okay.
I love, real stories.
Okay.
Um,
Any book comes to mind from childhood or
Uh,
currently reading?
well, I love graphic novels.
Okay.
That's-
The Japanese manga kind of thing.
Not the mangas. The sort of, the real life stories like the mouse.
Oh, I just finished
I've
that
not read
last
that.
night.
Yeah, it's a fantastic book. Okay, it's a Pulitzer Prize winning, if I'm not
But
wrong.
it's a graphic novel.
It's a graphic novel. You won't believe the emotions that a graphic novel can actually.
Through pictures.
Absolutely, and they're so beautiful. And some of the novels, it's just these scribbles, but it's like, how did you convey so much in a scribble?
Yeah.
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 And some of them are, of course, very exquisitely written,
And
drawn. So it's literally I'm a big fan of that.
You still a fan of bookshops? Do you go to bookshops?
I love bookshops,
Okay.
but I don't know. I'm not finding any nice ones.
Blossom's okay.
Yeah, Blossom's
the
only
only
nice
one.
one.
Yeah, that's everything else is dying out, sadly enough. No.
I know.
Yeah. So graphic novels is one thing.
Yeah.
Do you collect books?
Yeah,
Yeah?
I like to keep a physical. I usually read on my Kindle,
Mm-hmm.
but I like to keep a physical copy of the books that I like.
I'm glad you spoke graphic novels. You're not one of those who suggests hard things about hard things and all those business books. That you're not one of them, are you?
I do. I have read many of them,
Okay.
but only once in a way, Vishal. I can't
Do the business,
many of them
okay.
all the time.
Yeah. So what are you currently reading? You get time.
Honestly, currently I'm reading how to what is that? How to talk to a toddler.
Why is it very difficult?
It's not difficult, but I just want to know more about how these toddlers think.
So, they're developing, no?
Yeah.
But they can pick up multiple languages very fast.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm sure they pick up music
Yeah.
also very fast.
Yeah.
So you must be talking what? 4 languages, 3 languages?
At home, we generally talk either Telugu or English.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay. But she picking up both?
Yeah. She speaks both.
And who has the upper hand? She has the upper hand over you? Control. I mean, kids
I
are
think
difficult to
so.
control, no?
She
Totally.
probably does.
I hope we don't spoil them. That's true.
That's my main concern.
And what about your husband? What is the husband's role? What is the husband's role in the life of 2 female entrepreneurs, right? I mean, we've all grown up in a
Yeah.
male society.
Yeah.
We know that traditional
Yeah.
societies were agricultural societies.
Yeah.
We were a
Yeah.
different set of people.
Yeah.
But our generation of the last
Yeah.
30 years has
Yeah.
changed,
Yeah.
right? I mean, recommendations to men and how do you have to handle your women who are working and are successful? Some thought, Jyotsna, you should have those points too. And this is typically a very important question I want to
Very
ask
important.
because a lot of men don't realize it.
Yes.
Right? They want successful women, but once they're married,
Yeah.
they say that, okay. I mean, they're confused.
Yeah.
How do you advise women to handle this part? Not just to save marriages,
Yeah.
but also for men to understand that there is something that they have to balance.
That's a
Probably we're missing something.
No, that's a fantastic question.
Thank you. Go on. I mean, I want to know that answer.
No, I think we can't do what we do without fantastic, amazing support from our husbands.
Yes.
We really can't.
Yes.
And every idea we bounce off of them and
Correct.
get good advice.
And I've seen John. John is always bouncing off ideas. Yeah.
Always. And he's always the level-headed person.
Hmm.
So sometimes when I'm like, very upset or tensed about something, about how to handle a particular situation, and he's always bringing me down to a very
Okay.
professional, stable.
Okay. Brings you down to earth.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So I think his advice, his support,
Yeah.
I can't even tell you how important that is.
So there are no expectations from both sides. Dran, you're saying support is more important.
Yeah.
I'm glad both of you said support ecosystem
Yeah.
rather than expectation.
Yeah,
Right? When it becomes expectations,
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
Right?
that's the main
In
thing.
anything, right?
Well, absolutely. That's a working book. Perhaps at some point of time, all of us
Yeah.
should think, or do a podcast around this itself
Yeah,
separately.
Yeah.
So all the men listening, there you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
No expectations. Be a
Yeah.
support ecosystem.
Yes.
That's the first step.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to add to this?
I think your previous question about happiness,
Yeah.
right?
I want to get to the 30-second guide to happiness.
Yeah, the question about so I'm always evaluating this happiness thing, and you can't always be happy,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
We're never happy.
Yeah.
That's true.
we're always trying to figure out that balance and all of that. And I feel like spouse plays a huge huge role in that. How much ever you're trying to succeed in your career, how much ever you're trying to have a social life or a family life or whatever. If your spouse is not sort
Yeah.
of backing you up there, how do you have that happiness?
That's true. It falls apart.
Falls apart.
No, it's interesting. I like this Jedi-like conversation that we're having. I found myself a master in jokes now, right? And it's interesting that we should go wake up at 5 a.m. and your daughter doesn't wake you up middle of the night.
No, she
No?
doesn't.
That's a
She's
nice
a good
daughter.
sleeper.
My God, my daughter screams for 10 seconds and then I'm up the night.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, that's a tough thing to handle for men, by the way.
quite hard.
So it's been an interesting conversation, and those of you listening to the podcast, go check out Kasu Homes if you want to escape from the city and lead a life where you can practice your Muay Thai, you can do your biking, you do your farming even, then get to Kasu Homes, right? Girls, thank you so much for being on this podcast.
Thank you.
And we'll do one soon. Jyotsna, Dhruti, thank you so much.
Thank you, Vishal.
Thank you for having us.
Always fun.
No, thank you.
I hope you enjoyed this business transformation podcast with Dhruti Reddy and Jyotsna Reddy, founders of Kasu Homes. For more information, write to us at theupstreamlife@gmail.com. Check us out on Spotify, Anchor.fm, and YouTube, or just visit us at theupstreamlife.com. Thank you very much, guys.